the day we met. I want you to tell me, what portal were you in? Where were you at as a woman? Bring me, where were we? What was happening? What was going on in your life? And we're going to go from there.
Whoa, that day. I mean, honestly, it was a rebirth. The day before you and I had met.
Yeah.
So just context-wise, I was 3 weeks out from asking for a divorce from someone who I had been with for 10 years, married to for 5, father of my then 2-year-old son, CTO and CFO of my very successful business.
Yeah.
And so it was like not a small deal. Like it was not like I'm done. Like it was a big unraveling. So I'm 3 weeks out from that.
And you had done so much work in that marriage. Like you two had shown up for years for like, if there is any way for us to make this work, we will do whatever it takes.
Yeah, coaching, therapy, MDMA and psilocybin therapy, like deep work. Every week we would have what we would call couch time. Yeah. Like we did it. Like I really am proud of how much we grew even in the unraveling.
Yeah.
So as started the divorcing process. We're 3 weeks later, and our mutual friend had invited us to like a faux Burning Man. It was 2020.
Yeah.
So there was no real Burning Man.
Yeah, and you were definitely not allowed to share that on Instagram. It was like, oh God, we're going to like a secret party in the desert.
Like even flying. It was the first time I'd been on a plane.
Yeah.
Flying was like still kind of sketch. Gathering in groups more than 4 was actually illegal in the state. And there was 60 of us there at that time.
Gotta live your life, yo.
And so the day before you and I met, maybe the day of, I did 5-MeO-DMT, aka Bufo.
Yeah.
Which is a very, very powerful psychoactive substance. And I was like, forget about seeing the face of God. I realized that I am the face of God, like quite viscerally, which is so much about what both of our work is. It's like really giving people that gnosis that they are God pretending to be human. And I had a very powerful visceral experience of that. I also saw myself and felt myself go through the birth canal again. So it was quite literally a rebirth. And then the next day, like we looked into each other's eyes and I felt like a slideshow, like the old Mickey Mouse cartoon books where you can see flip frames. And I'm not normally like this with people, but it's like, I could almost see every incarnation that we had lived together.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like deep, instant love.
Yeah.
And also like the future forward flip book of like, what we have to do together.
Yeah.
Same day, I also met my amazing cosmic lover, Adam. And then the next day, so I was like meditating under this beautiful grandfather tree on this sacred Qigong ground. This is the day after the ceremony. I'm connecting to my unborn daughter. I think I have this daughter coming in named Layla, and I'm talking to her and I'm like, hey, I trust you. I love you. You tell me when, you tell me who. And then I walk up to this dome, lay down on this like vibrating meditation bed. Someone puts their hands on my feet. I have a full Kundalini awakening. And I was like, what's happening? Who am I? Who are you? What is life? And so 3 weeks after doing one of the hardest things I had ever done, I meet you, which just meeting you is like its own multiple types of activations and transmissions. I meet this amazing cosmic lover and I connect to the spirit of my unborn daughter. And truly, like, there's this Glennon Doyle quote that says, the braver you are, the luckier you become. Yeah. And I think taking that brave, bold step, which was the last thing that I wanted to do, it was like there was this backlog of magic that was just like, let's go.
Yes. So what I would love to know is give me a rundown of who was Emily prior to that moment. And why had that life become, I don't know what the word you would use is, so please correct me, but like almost too small for you or no longer a fit for your truth?
So I've been meditating now every day, twice a day for almost 16 years.
Yeah.
And like I'll miss an occasional one here or there, but it is like very, very, I'm not in religious. It's because it's not doctrine.
It's kind of, it's religious in like a fun way.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to me. Like I prioritize it. I really make it a priority.
Yeah.
And so it's baked into who I am. And when you're doing that every day, like this purification of the physiology, like enlightenment is available to all of us at any time.
Yeah.
And so it's really just the stress that's keeping us from that 24-hour-a-day bliss. And so now, like 16 years in, I am not the same person that I was when I started. And it's like a hardware upgrade. It's like you're defragging your brain computer every single time. And then because of virtue of the increase in consciousness that is afforded by the lack of stress in the nervous system, you can start to run more and more elegant software, more and more elegant operating systems.
Yeah.
And so I think that I was ready for a new operating system. And I think that honestly, my ability to love myself had grown immensely. Like none of us, I think, love ourselves all the way, right? Like that's one of the things of being human is that we keep learning deeper and deeper ways to love ourselves. But I definitely progressed a lot in that journey. And so I think I was ready for different levels of that game, of people that were loving themselves in such an amazing, audacious way. They're playing like the types of games that I wanted to play in the world.
Yeah. So what I loved too about when we met, because our first in-person conversation, you were like, I just asked for a divorce fairly recently. And I had just met you, and people had been trying to connect us for years, actually. So it was like a big meeting. Also, there was loads of people everywhere. It was really short. And I came up to you, I think it was like a few hours later, and I was like, yo, I was like, because you're in this process of divorce, I just want you to know if there's any way I can show up for you. If you want to go out into a field, scream, cry, grieve, whatever's alive for you, like I am here for you.
And I just want to celebrate that. Like, I remember we were in the doorway of this like healing dome, and you were like, if you want to go in the woods and do a grief ritual, I am here for it. And I was like, what are you? Who are you? What's a grief ritual? Like, and like, I didn't understand Tantra. Like, I did not know that like Tantra meant like finding God in all of it, in the darkness. And the fact that you could love me that much, having just met me and loving and holding space for my darkness in that infancy of our friendship was such a beautiful like seed of what was to come. And one of the more beautiful transmissions that I've gotten from you is learning how to love my fear, my shame, my darkness, which has carved out space for so much more ecstatic joy. Yeah. I mean, talk about this tantric life. Like you are an embodiment of that. And so thank you. Because like up until that, I've very much been like, you know, like I have this alter ego, Julie Cruz director. I have another alter ego, Cindy, who's like very Southern Baptist. And I, you know, like sometimes you'll call me out on like my bypassing when I'm just like love and light and manifesting and sunshine and roses. And I really put my attention on the light. And it's like the dark is God too.